On my way home, something major had happened to our house. Where are you right now? At home. It's a day off, so I was just taking a nap. Can you tell me where you are right now? I told you. I'm napping. Obviously, I'm at home since it's my day off. My husband acted as if nothing had happened. It seemed he wasn't aware of the pressing situation at all. My name is Catherine Mitchell. I'm 32 years old, a cheerful sales lady who enjoys every day. I married Jack 5 years ago. We don't have children yet and are enjoying our life together. I met Jack at a mixer. A mutual friend introduced us, just like Cupid. From the first time we met, Jack was smitten with me, and I was drawn to his warmth and kindness. However, he had a slight penchant for women, and some friends would caution, you might want to be careful with him. But he always passionately assured me that he had eyes only for me. After 3 years of dating, we decided to get married. During our early days of marriage, we spent every weekend having fun. Driven by those days, I was always motivated at work. But around our 3rd year of marriage, cracks began to appear in our relationship. Jack started to become distant, not replying to my talks, and our outings became less frequent. I tried inviting him for trips several times, but he would say, I'm a bit busy right now. Sorry. I was just thinking, since we haven't been traveling recently, is something up? Don't keep on inviting. Can't you see I'm busy? But you do have days off, so why? Let's not talk about this anymore. Naturally, I started to lose trust in him. Meanwhile, my job was going smoothly. I became a bit busy and received a promotion. After my promotion to a leadership role, I started to travel more for work. When I brought up the business trips, Jack would seem oddly pleased. That reaction made me suspect something. Was there another woman in his life? As Jack became colder, I started to worry that he might be cheating. These suspicions were about to turn into conviction. But thinking about it was painful, so I turned a blind eye. Remembering the good old days, I chose to trust him. Speaking of which, there was that sudden long-term business trip. I was going to be away for 2 months. When I told him, he was surprised. Wait, 2 whole months? But can we spend weekends together? I plan on living there for the duration. I want to do some sightseeing, and coming back would waste over 3 hours. Not seeing you for 2 months might make me a bit lonely. Take care of your health. Thanks, but I'll be fine. I'll take care of myself well. 2 months of freedom sounds fun. For a few days after that, Jack shared many stories, seeming happier than usual. However, something was bugging me. When you return from the trip, will you reach home at night or in the afternoon? I'm not sure. It'll depend on the situation. But tell me before you leave, okay? Why do you want to know? Is something up? No, nothing. His reaction made me suspicious and a bit annoyed. On the day of my departure, he gave me a bright smile, saying take care. A few days after leaving, there was no contact from Jack. I wondered if he was having fun, feeling a bit lonely. But the days at my business location were more enjoyable than expected. I got along particularly well with colleagues of my age, spending weekends sightseeing together. I was so busy and fulfilled, I hardly had time to think about Jack. And then there's my supporting boss, Mr. Harris. He was like a reliable elder brother, always on my side. With him, time seemed to flow differently. Every moment with Mr. Harris slowly overshadowed my memories with Jack. The shared moments with him felt warm like sunlight. One night, I decided to open a slightly expensive red wine while looking at the night view from my window. The wine glittered in the glass, and I looked forward to some relaxation time. Just then, my cell phone rang. Caught off guard by the unexpected call, I looked at the screen to see it was from the apartment manager of our building. It was unusual for me to receive a call from them, so I assumed something was up and quickly answered. I'm sorry to bring you distressing news, but there's been a fire at the apartment building. Is your husband okay? We tried contacting him several times but couldn't get through. I was at a loss for words. Jack was supposed to be at home, relaxing. The mere thought of something happening to him was heart-wrenching. Our relationship wasn't as passionate as it once was, but the bond and memories of our 5 years together were certainly etched in my heart. With trembling hands, I dialed Jack multiple times. On the fifth attempt, I finally got through, hearing his familiar voice on the other end. Where are you right now? I'm sleeping. It's my day off, so obviously I'm at home. Stop calling for every little thing. I'm just relieved you're safe at home. That's absurd. Asking my whereabouts? Do you think you're my mother or something? Despite being in the middle of a fire, his calm demeanor came through. I figured he might not be at home after all. Later, I informed the manager about Jack's well-being, and he sounded immensely relieved. While the news of the fire was shocking, most of my essential items were with me on the business trip, so my property loss was minimal. However, I was both astounded and embarrassed by Jack's demeanor. His nonchalant attitude during the fire made me rethink the distance between us. The next morning, while chatting leisurely with some new friends at a cafe on my business trip, I received a call from Jack. It had been a day since the manager contacted me. Where had Jack been, and why hadn't he called the manager back? If he had, the manager would have contacted me sooner. Hey, did you hear? Apparently, there was a fire at our place. Really? You sound fine. I assumed you already knew about the fire since you said you were home. Weren't you? Why are you so calm about this? Well, you said you were at home, so I assumed you knew about the fire. But sleeping through a fire? Classic you. There's no need to worry, isn't there? Jack sounded a bit surprised. Putting that aside, what are we going to do next? We don't have a place to live now. At a time like this, you say we? I don't think we'll be living together from now on. What are you trying to say? I'm tired of your affairs. I bet you were with another woman during the fire, weren't you? On what basis are you saying that? Every time I had a suspicion, it turned out you were seeing other women. I've had enough. Wait, let's talk this through. There's nothing to discuss. I'm considering a divorce. At that moment, Jack went silent. I was curious about how he took my resolution. Jack's voice sounded a tad angry. Why are you pushing the conversation in this direction all of a sudden? Sure, I've considered divorce, but you're involved in the fire incident too, aren't you? Huh? I've been here the whole time. What do you mean I'm involved in the fire? Taken aback, I counted his claim. Do you know the cause of the fire? They said it was due to a cigarette. I received a call from the building manager this morning about it. What? You've inconvenienced the other residents, so you should apologize and compensate them. I told you multiple times to make sure you put out your cigarette before leaving the house. And because you weren't home, you didn't notice the fire, right? I guess you were out with your mistress again. Jack responded in a slightly troubled tone. Well, yeah, that might have been my mistake, but I believe it was a result of multiple factors. Still, I do agree with the divorce. Our relationship has been deteriorating, so I'll send over the divorce papers. With a slight hesitation in my heart, I responded, think properly about the compensation, apologizing to the other residents, and the alimony. Jack responded with a light chuckle. Yeah, don't worry. I'll apologize to the other residents and think about the alimony. But you don't need anything from me, right? You can dispose of all my belongings. I don't need them anymore. Got it. I guess it's time for both of us to start new lives. With that, he slowly hung up the phone. A chapter of our 5-year marriage had come to a close. I thought I'd feel heartbroken or desolate. But surprisingly, my heart was at peace. I felt a sense of relief after making the major decision. I was growing anxious as the divorce papers from Jack were taking longer than expected, so I consulted my trusted attorney. To my surprise, a few weeks later, I received a call. Can't we get back together? Please. From what I gathered, he was facing financial issues, and the woman he had an affair with had refused to give him money and had gone completely silent. You'll forgive me this time too, right? You always have. I can't do that anymore. You've been contacted by my lawyer, haven't you? Yes, I received the papers, but I've changed my mind. I don't want to get divorced. He pleaded like a child. I was somewhat taken aback. I couldn't help but think about the time I'd spent with him. Actually, I'm considering getting remarried. Wait, to who? It's not what you think. After we decided to get divorced, someone has been very kind to me and has taken a liking to me. This man confessed his feelings, but he's waiting for my reply. I'm planning to respond once our divorce is finalized. Isn't that infidelity? Unlike you, I never gave my heart to anyone else while we were together. The reason I'm optimistic about remarriage is that I'm genuinely considering it. It's true we're not in any kind of relationship right now. Actually, I recently told Mr. Harris, a superior I was with on a business trip, about my plans to divorce. And he surprisingly confessed his feelings and even proposed to me. I felt comfortable with his understanding of my current situation and the lack of unnecessary pressure. Experiencing his warmth and kindness made me think that maybe I could be happy with him in the future. Two timing? I won't stand for that. I'll make you pay alimony. What are you misunderstanding? I haven't done anything wrong, unlike you. But it's true you're considering remarriage, right? Yes, but I haven't asked for any alimony from you. So, please proceed with the divorce process quickly. After saying this, he responded in a somewhat dejected tone. All right then. As he was about to hang up, I noticed a hand reaching for my phone from beside me. I turned to see Mr. Harris standing there. Nice to be talking to you. I happened to overhear your conversation, and I think it's not fair for you to blame Catherine for your own mistakes. It's all your fault. Catherine left because of you. On what basis can you make such a claim? I respect Catherine's decision and am waiting patiently. Please proceed with the divorce as soon as possible. All right, I'll send the divorce papers. Just give me the address. Understood. My lawyer will come to collect them, so please get in touch. After hanging up, I was surprised that Mr. Harris suddenly intervened in the conversation, but I truly appreciated that he stood up for me. After that incident, it seemed like Jack's situation worsened significantly. Due to compensating the neighbors, he had to take on debts, and he apparently couldn't pay back those debts, which ultimately led him to file for bankruptcy. Given the situation, I decided to show some compassion and didn't ask Jack for any alimony. However, I did make a claim against his mistress. It's essential to make such distinctions. Word about Jack's bankruptcy spread in his workplace, and he faced questioning from superiors and colleagues. Despite the fact that his affair was with a coworker, Jack seemed to spill the beans about everything. Rumors spread quickly, and soon he found himself out of place in the company. Eventually, both Jack and his mistress lost their jobs. Even though his mistress had broken up with him, unemployed Jack thought they might get back together since they were in the same boat. However, she rejected him, saying she didn't want anything to do with a man without money. Now, it seems Jack is struggling, working part-time jobs to make ends meet. As for me, after finalizing the divorce, my relationship with Mr. Harris became stronger. While I initially took time to respond to his confession due to the pain and mistrust from being betrayed by Jack, Mr. Harris was kind and assured me that he'd accept me completely, leading us to start a new chapter in our lives. 2 years have passed since then, and we've decided to get married. Plus, we've been blessed with a pregnancy. Currently, I've left my job to focus on building a new life with Mr. Harris and our upcoming addition to the family. With the excitement of welcoming a new member to our family, I look forward to cherishing our present happiness rather than dwelling on past hurts.